Hello and welcome to the Useless Wisdom Podcast. We're rated 5 stars on iTunes by...
I don't think anybody's rating us nothing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, we can't track the statistics anyway, so... Anyway, if you want us to read yours, go ahead and leave us a bad review on iTunes.
We don't read the good ones. We don't care. Nobody reads good reviews for anything. I'm just being honest.
Plus, it seems like Jacob was a fan favorite. Everybody has something good to say about him.
Everybody had something to say about him.
Guess that's more like it. All right. So, where'd you want to start off with the topics?
I think we should talk about the dating difference, the age difference in dating.
We were talking about this before we decided to start the podcast, but I think that it's weird for a younger, like a guy to date a girl older than him. But it's not weird for a guy to date a younger girl. And I don't know if it's because you don't see like a guy dating an older girl very often, or you know what exactly makes that weird.
I feel like it's weird for us because we're so young and we just got out of high school like a couple years ago. And it was, you never saw a girl dating somebody younger. Like, for some reason in high school, that just doesn't happen.
I actually take that back because I dated a girl as a 6th grader that was in 8th grade. And I did, do you know who I'm talking about? Started with a... All right, everyone said that she walked like she had a stick up. I have no idea who I'm talking about. You're the one who started that rumor, so I don't understand.
No, I didn't start. I know who you're talking about now, and I never said that.
Then what did you say?
I never said anything about her.
Well, you thought she was attractive? The point is that...
She probably was, but she shouldn't have been dating a 6th grader as almost a high school.
Okay, well, either way,
no,
I did date an older girl, but at the time that wasn't weird.
I think here's why it's seen as so weird. All right. We just talked about that, partially talked about this too. With To Catch a Predator, you almost never saw a girl showing up to meet a younger guy. Like, there was almost never a female one there. I don't even know. There might have never been a female one there.
But there was never... Okay, you can't say that that's the reason.
No, I feel like that this is what adds to it for why it feels weird to us from watching that show, is because it's like, you know, why would they want to do this? Like, that guy's kind of pervy, right? But I think that's just, as a man, you naturally want somebody the same age or younger. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't care how old a girl is. Like, you know, as long as she's 18, it don't matter. Or 17 in the age of state of West Virginia. Better than
quit facing the camera. The microphone isn't on the camera.
Better than facing the judge for a statutory rape. Okay. I think it's 17. We should let Jacob know. He might need to know that. But I think that's part of why it feels, because the media has made it seem like it's bad, and that, but like that almost works in the favor of the girl because that makes them want to date an older guy more. And I feel like these guys that are dating younger women, like really, really, not like us, like obviously our significant others are younger. I shouldn't have said obviously. Like, that sounded
you're
really
making
bad.
yourself seem like you're...
Obviously, I'm not going to date somebody older. But
or my same age. I mean, fuck that.
That's ridiculous. But the female, like, obviously I'm not a female. I don't know how they think. I don't think anybody does. But
they don't even know.
But I think that's where it, like, you know, the stereotype of, oh, she's got daddy issues and all that stuff. I think that's kind of where it comes from too, is just why would you want somebody who's not as mature? And women mature faster, right? That's what I've been told by women.
Yeah, I've been told the same thing. Okay.
I don't know if it's true. I don't think it matters, but I think that could be it too. It's just because they want somebody who's mature and they don't see men as mature if they're not older. You think that's part of it?
I could be part of it, but I don't think that I was like, I'm not even going to say that I'm mature now, because I feel like I'm still a dumbass. I'm not going to deny that, but I
thought you were too intelligent for your therapist.
Okay, well, that wasn't hard. Okay. No, what I'm trying to say
I'm
is
pretty sure you never got into the actual office and you just said all that to some guy out in the waiting room.
I mean, that would make sense why it hasn't been helping. I mean, fuck. But I think that, at least in my experience, I won't say that, more people have this, but you can agree.
Not if I don't agree, I'm not.
So, guys that are still in high school are pretty immature unless they seem mature because they don't talk a lot. But I think that you mature for the most part after you get out of high school, at least as from a guy's perspective, because I don't feel like I was mature at all until I got out of high school. Started having maybe I had a decent job or whatever.
What do you mean decent job? We worked at the same place in high school,
No,
and I still work there now.
I'm saying like decent job is in like I'm
like a lot of hours. Like
yeah, a lot of hours.
You have more responsibilities.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, and I feel like that made me mature more.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think definitely working does mature, but
in that perspective, though, is it weird if a 21-year-old is dating a 17-year-old?
Well, it's illegal. So yeah.
No. I'm saying 21-year-old guy dating a 17-year-old girl. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is that weird? Is that too far?
I say that's too far because it's illegal. Yeah, I think so.
But it's not illegal if they've been dating for.
But don't feed me that Romeo and Juliet stuff. Only certain states even have that law, Brian. Okay. You might start looking at West Virginia's laws for you, bud.
I did look up the laws the other day, and not on this, okay, but there are so many states that say that you are allowed. What was one of them? I think
New York has it. Or as long as you're Alabama. As long as you're with them before you turn 18, it's okay. Like if
that's not even the law I'm talking about.
Well, I think I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I think if you're 17 and they're 14, and as long as you're with them before you turn 18, it's okay. But you have to be with them before you're turned 18. I think that's New York. I don't know. I watch a lot of Law and Order. I think it was on there.
The law that I'm talking about is, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, they have to have it in Alabama. I don't feel like looking it up right now, but there are multiple states that say you can marry your first cousin if you get sterilized. And some states just say you can marry your first cousin. You don't need to get...
I'm not endorsing any of this. I think in West Virginia you can marry your second cousin.
I said first cousin.
I'm from West Virginia.
Okay, you know what? I saw this on a show the other day. Now that we're talking about this incest bullshit that you wanted to bring up.
I didn't bring it up, you did.
Well, either way, I saw the show the other day that this couple was going to get married, right? I actually think it was New Amsterdam, that hospital show, but...
What is New Amsterdam, and why were you watching it as a grown-ass man?
I like it. I don't know. Fuck. Okay, so...
General Hospital too, huh?
No, that's retarded. There's like 100 seasons of that. It doesn't matter.
How do you know why do you know how many seasons General Hospital has? Why do you know it has a lot of seasons?
So in the show that I was watching,
I just gloss over it.
There was a man and there was a woman, and they were gonna get married in like 16 days, and they I guess they got one of those like 21andMe things, yeah. And they found out that they are brother and sister, but they have different moms, right? Because the dad, or both the moms were what are they, artificially inseminated or whatever,
and the dad was a sperm donor.
And the dad was a sperm donor. So, not taking into account having kids and stuff, would it be weird for them to go through with the marriage? Because they're brother and sister, but they're not brother and sister. You know what I mean? Because that's like...
They weren't raised as brother and sister. They don't have that emotional connection as brother and sister.
But they also...
Physically are.
I mean, they physically are, but they're also not. I don't know how to explain...
That's called a half brother and sister, Brian.
They did have the same dad.
That's called half siblings.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, as long as it's two happy, loving, consenting adults, I don't care what you do. There's plenty of situations that is not like this. This is very rare. I think it almost never happens. I'm willing to bet that money. So we've seen some
Someone
weird
in
stuff
the
in
comment
West Virginia.
section just fucking proved you as a dumb shit.
I'm sure they will. Sure they will. But here's a scenario for you. All right, so you've been with your significant other for, 3 years? So imagine it comes out and she tells you that she was born a man. Something went wrong. She had to have a sex change as a baby into a girl. How would you feel?
I would literally be in a corner, like in a dark corner, trying to figure out whether I'm gay or not. Because I didn't know. But is it okay for me to continue fucking a guy?
But it's a girl.
Now.
For as long as you've known her.
Okay, but if you date a transvestite.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Okay, then what are you talking about?
I mean, she didn't even know about it. Like it comes out like you guys find her original birth certificate or something, and it says male. And then it turns out that she was born a male, or whatever, and something happens. She turned into a female, and she's lived her whole life as a female. Obviously, you've never noticed. Would you care? Because it wasn't her fault. She didn't know.
I can't say whether I would care or not, but I feel like I'd probably get over it.
So you feel like it wouldn't matter to you in the long run?
I've been with them long enough, I guess.
Exactly.
But if you were with somebody for a long time, you never had sex, and you finally go to have sex, and then
well, that's different. That's like actively concealing that fact, I see what you're trying to say there, but like that's actively concealing that fact from them, because obviously, you should probably notice. 9 times out of 10, you're going to notice. Maybe 8.5. Everybody makes mistakes. I don't know what was the original topic. We so off topic. You started talking about brother and sister.
I have no idea.
What were we talking about?
I don't have it written down.
Oh, the age. Yeah, we're talking about the age. How did you go from age to brother and sister?
I don't know.
You're
You're
weird.
the one that wanted to talk about
No,
incest.
I was not. So how old are you?
21.
What's the lowest age you would date? Non-regarding laws.
Not regarding laws?
Yes.
2 or 3.
23. All right.
No, 2 or 3.
23. 2 times 3 is 15. Oh, no, it ain't. It's 6. For real. Like, what's the...
I'm 21.
Yeah.
I think that 17 would still be okay.
You're not 21, are you?
Yeah, I just turned 21 the other day.
Oh, I forgot. Now,
you said happy birthday.
No, that's not what I said.
You did say happy birthday.
That's what I meant. That's not what I said. You didn't actually look at it, did you?
I got a lot of messages, and I'm like, God, this is why I need to mute Facebook. Fuck.
So what's the minimum age at 21 that you would date?
I said I think 17 would be okay.
17? I would probably go 16. I'm 20. Not that really makes a difference, but I'd probably go 16.
Why?
Is 16 and 17 really all that different?
I feel like 15, you're still immature.
I said 16.
Yeah. So,
but 15 possibly. I guess it would kind of depend on the person.
Are you serious?
Because, women are maturing faster now than they used to. So you know as well as I do, there's 15-year-olds that have the maturity of a 20-year-old.
Is Brandon a pedophile? Because it sure fucking sounds like it.
No. Obviously, law is not... You better not. Obviously, like...
She gets asked it too much.
It would have to be, like, a special case. Like, I think 16 is my actual cutoff. I think 15 would be a little weird.
Okay, I don't understand this, because 15... You're still going to be immature.
Well, that depends on the person.
And then when you turn 16, you get a little bit more maturity.
Every person is different. You're assuming.
If you get a license. Because a license has a lot to do with it.
Well, you can get a permit at 15.
Oh, my God. Fucking blow my brains out. Can we quit talking about this? Because you're really making yourself sound bad.
No. Like I said, 16. Mine's 16. Yours is 17. I'm a year younger than you. We're still right in line with each other. Are we not?
When are you turning 21?
June. I still got like 4 months.
Let's talk about something else because I think that you're making yourself sound bad.
I feel like
you're gonna get roasted in the comment section and not want to do the podcast anymore.
No, I feel like
like Jacob.
What's the oldest that you could have a relationship with.
Well, like I said, I think that it's weird to date somebody that's older than me. Okay.
What's the oldest that you would have a sexual escapade with?
The oldest that I'd have a sexual
escapade.
And
not Eskimo, escapade.
I don't know if I'd date an Eskimo or not. No.
That's for next week, ladies and gentlemen. You're thinking very intently right now.
I know. It's because like I would like to say that I slept with a cougar, but I couldn't deal with the wrinkles and stuff. So.
Well, the bestiality charge might get you for something. Nothing. Keep going. The wrinkles are what gets you.
I'll do 32.
That's as high as you're willing to go, is 32.
Yeah.
I'd hit like 46.
After 32, you start getting the toe fungus and stuff.
You're very ignorant. Quit vaping on the podcast. I'd probably go like 46. Maybe 48 at most. If they take care of themselves, you know what I'm saying. Oldest I would date, like be in a relationship with, would probably be like 30.
Seriously?
Yeah. What's the oldest you would actually date?
That I would actually date?
20.
Yeah, it probably would be like...
Are you
20s,
serious?
maybe like 20, 23, 24. But I feel like getting older than that, I don't like kids. I fucking hate kids, okay? Any older than like 22 or 23, I feel like they would start having kids.
You realize there's women that don't want kids either, right?
Yeah, and I found one, and I'm going to stick with it.
Well, I'm not saying you should leave her. You'd be homeless. But
or maybe she would, you don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure her mother would kick you out. Or her out. All right, what's the next topic? I feel like we've talked long enough on this particular subject.
There's a lot of stuff that you want to talk about, but...
Brian
there's a lot of stuff...
time.
Actually, I'll take it back. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but...
I'm
scared to talk about it because I don't want to, get in trouble for saying too much.
With whom would you be getting in trouble with?
Okay, I'll just pick one of those topics then. All right. Are the movements such as Black Lives Matter, LGBT, or whatever else you could think of that will apply to this actually pushing further away the thought of equality to those people? Meaning, it may have started as them wanting equality, but has quickly turned into them further segregating themselves. One reason being, some of their reckless and radical members, but it's basically them putting themselves on a pedestal with these movements because, the media is picking them up so much.
I think putting them on a pedestal is the wrong words to use. I don't know, because when you look at Black Lives Matter versus the LGBTQ+, it's two completely different types of movements. To talk about like the Black Lives Matter movement.
No, those are literally only ones that I could think of.
But they're still completely different.
It was just for an example. I'm not saying.
Well, you let me talk.
Okay, sorry.
With the Black Lives Matter, I see what you're saying with has it pushed it further away, because it seems like they truly are just fighting for equality, but there's a lot of negative press behind them because there's a lot of negativity involved with the movement because it involves bringing to light the things that people don't want to talk about. So obviously that's going to make certain types of usually white males feel some type of way about it. I think it serves its purpose, and it also goes too far. Like every movement, like every group of people, you have good and bad people. So the bad people in the movement are pushing it far. They're violent. The good people, they just want everybody to be equal.
I know that we didn't do any research on this, but could you maybe be talking about the Baltimore riots?
I don't think that was more with Black Lives Matter. I think that was more with outrage at the way that they've been treated in Baltimore. Or no, it wasn't Baltimore.
Well, we don't live in Baltimore, so can we
It wasn't Baltimore, was it?
I thought it was the Baltimore
riots.
It
was another. I don't think it was Baltimore. I think I know what you're talking about.
They were like breaking into stores and
stuff. Yeah, that wasn't Baltimore. That's an everyday in Baltimore. I think
maybe cut that part out, huh?
It's just a normal day. No, I think you're talking about another thing in Maryland that happened. But like when you start looting, like there's a guy I follow on Instagram and listen to his music. His name's My Son. He did a lot of time in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and he's a black rights activist and that type of stuff now. And that's part of what he talks about is like when you start violating other African Americans as an African American, but you're pushing the slogan of Black Lives Matter, you're just pushing yourself further into the hole. I think at the end of the day, everybody just needs to stand up for each other because there's good people and there's bad people. There's people who support equality and people who don't. So I think everybody who supports equality needs to stand up. If you don't support equality for everybody, that's different. I mean, what do you think about the Black Lives Matter movement? Like, how do you view it as a white male and a mostly Caucasian county, state even, I would guess?
So what I was thinking of when I wrote this, I said that I wasn't necessarily talking about those movements, but I put them on there on purpose. I was trying to protect myself. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw my actual opinion out there. I think that me saying putting them on a pedestal, if you understand where I'm coming from, actually does make sense, because equality is about everybody being treated the same way. Mm-hmm. Okay, so would that not just be me talking to a like black person the same way that I am talking to you?
But I think what you're mistaking...
I don't think that it has anything to do with raising awareness or anything, because so I know that because of where we live, our opinions might sound biased, insensitive. I guess, insensitive or biased or whatever, but see, we don't have a lot of like black families or anything around here. We do have a few, but
and for the most part, like, they're genuinely wonderful people. Like when I don't want to say this so it doesn't sound bad. Like, when you look at crime statistics in areas and see who they're usually perpetrated by, it's almost never by an African American in our county. It's almost always by Caucasian
meth dealer.
It's just always usually by white people. That's just because, with the persecution that the black people face in our area, the fact that they choose to move here and live here means that they usually are good people. Because if they were a bad person, they probably wouldn't be living here. They wouldn't be dealing with what people have to go with. And I feel like as a county, we are getting better with it. As the younger generations are getting more involved and more important in the county, I think it's fading away as to how it used to be. So, but I think what you're mistaking as them wanting to be put on a pedestal is just them pushing for equal rights. But it seems like they're pushing for, instead of pushing for equality, they're pushing to be on top. But they've been pushed down so much.
No, I'm saying that the backlash is them being put on a pedestal because of the media.
Here's my question.
But I'm also saying no. Let me finish, because I
need to ask a question at the end.
Where where you picked up at, it kind of still made me sound bad. So I need to finish it. I keep on saying this pedestal thing. I was saying that where we live, we don't have a lot of black people. Well,
anything other than
in
Caucasian.
Morgantown, there are more, obviously, because of college. But the only people that so I have never witnessed racism, like someone being racist towards,
like, violent racism.
Yeah, I've never actually witnessed that. But from my perspective, I could only imagine the people that would be the ones being racist would be older people that come from that generation of, get them out of my town, get them out of my neighborhood, those type of people, because they're still ignorant. I don't know. It's just stupid.
It's a product of the environment they were raised in.
Yeah. But, like, my family was never racist. Yeah. I don't think that I'm racist.
You don't think?
I can't be the the judger of that.
Yeah, you can. You can say you're not racist.
By saying you're not racist is also that's a good example. Me saying that I'm not racist kind of backfires into people being like, since he felt the need to say that he isn't racist.
Because we're talking about an issue that you're talking about race, and you're pushing you're trying to clarify your viewpoint. So yeah, it's completely appropriate to say you're not racist. I'm not racist.
We do need to finish up this segment within like a couple minutes. I think we're about at the break.
3 minutes. 3.5.
So what was the question you had to ask?
What is your definition of being put on a pedestal?
Okay, so I'm not saying what they're doing, what they're trying to do is putting them on a pedestal. That's not what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I'm asking. Is what do you think being put on a pedestal means when you're saying that euphemism?
Them better than everybody else because like from my perspective. Oh God, this is gonna piss a lot of people off. I'm sorry, comment section, but
all 4 of you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, all the people that hate Jacob, but you're probably gonna hate me too.
Why would you still like me?
I think that white males are the most oppressed. And I only say that because, well, I have multiple reasons for saying that, but a good thing is, like, I can't go get a full ride scholarship for being a white male. And I understand that they're offering those things for, like, to Hispanics and to Latinos, to, like, black people, to Asians, like all those people. I understand that they're getting those scholarships. We'll just use blacks as an example because they have been pushed down so far for so many years that they're trying to get them out of like
poverty.
Yeah, get them out of poverty because I suppose statistically they're
and that's something else.
They're in the
we'll save that for after because I feel like that's a whole nother topic that we can get into, and that in it also goes by area because the people in our area, you either go to college, get your degree, and then don't do anything with it, or you go to college for 1 semester and then drop out and then don't pay the loans.
That sounds like Jacob.
Or you go to college 3 different times and then not pay the loans and then finally do a stupid certification. That sounds
even more like Jacob. Yeah, I got you.
Or you don't go to college at all and you just try to rely on working hard. Or you don't go to college at all and you rely on other means to make money.
Drugs.
Well, not just drugs. Just other means. So I think that's part of it. That's part of, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. It depends on the area you're growing up in because around here you say you think that white males are the most oppressed. Around here they are because that's what almost the entire county is white males. So obviously in your head you're going to think, hey, we're the most oppressed, but that's just county-wide.
I'll just throw this out there real quick, but we're talking about the scholarships and stuff. I won't do that right now. We don't really have enough time. Okay, so we're going to cut to a break real quick. And
just forget it.
We'll be right back. Alrighty, and we're back. So I was actually talking to Brandon on the break, and I think what I was trying to get at might have sounded worse than what I was trying to put it. To help you understand, I guess that the easiest way to make it make sense is I was trying to say by the pedestal thing that the media takes advantage of the black communities by only covering, like, let's say a police officer shoots a black kid. They cover that immensely because they know that that's going to get them ratings, and a lot of people are going to be tuning in and stuff for it. When statistically, I did look up the statistics, but don't remember them off the top of my head. there's like 300 and some white kids that get shot by police officers every year, and like 200, like low 200s of black kids that get shot. But
and
they don't.
Still a lot.
It's
on
still
both
a lot.
sides, but you see what gets covered.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I was trying to get at with that. If you don't believe me, you can look up the statistics, but you could also say, I guess I kind of am proving myself wrong here, but you could also say that, the black community is considered a, minority. So there isn't as many black people than there is white people. So the statistics might be equal out, but that's what I'm trying to say is, the news covers
if
it
there's
all.
equal shootings per capita, there should be equal coverage.
Yeah.
And you're saying that the media is taking advantage of the black communities by pushing that agenda so hard that it either riles up the wrong people and causes these riots and stuff like that. Or I remember when the Trayvon Martin case happened, they were showing pictures of him looking like a thug on the news, and he's the one that just died and got killed for no reason. Yet you're showing that type of picture instead of showing like this school picture of him, that just regular picture. Like, why are you choosing to do that? That's the type of stuff that you're talking about. So I think, I'm glad that you clarified that, because you really had pushed yourself in a corner there, and you did not look very good. So
all right,
let's just move on this before Brian angers another set of listeners. Like, you want to piss off the whole 3 midgets that listen to this too, Brian? Let's just do that.
They don't like to be called midgets, Brandon. You pissed them off. So
call them what I want. I don't pay for the advertising.
Fine, fuck you. Okay. What makes kids in school popular?
Every school is different. I mean, every school has their own dynamic. We are somewhere in between, like that small town country dynamic and like the bigger like inner city type dynamic. Like, we're somewhere in between there. A big deal for us, like the football games are a big deal, but then you have half the county that doesn't care about them. So like anybody over 20 doesn't care. So there's that aspect. So like, I want to hear what you have to say about it, to see if it lines up with what I think, because you either have the same exact opinion as me or the complete opposite, and you sound really wrong. So I'm going to let you take it first.
Okay. We were talking about this before the podcast, and I'm trying to remember what all we were talking about.
Please don't remember what all we talked about.
Yeah, you did drop a lot of names, so good thing we weren't recording.
I'll say whoever's name I want.
So,
Bill Clinton.
I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and she thinks that, and I can agree with it. The girls are their own breed, so we can't really commentate.
Don't say it like that.
Well, I'm just saying we can't really comment on what makes girls popular, because there's so many.
No.
Like, the first thing comes to my mind is like, they slept with the football team. Of course, they're gonna be fucking popular.
All right, here's the difference between us. All right, I'm gonna stop you right there. That is not what I think about what makes girls popular.
What makes girls popular, Brandon?
Their looks, for the most part, and how sociable they are. A guy can be shy and quiet and still be popular. Am I right?
Okay, now, I don't think it has anything to do with looks when it comes to girls being popular, because I think it has a lot to do with just the way that they carry themselves.
And that is you're going to be more attractive to somebody who's confident. And having that type of beauty can help generate self-confidence. So I'm not saying it directly affects it, but it does affect it.
Okay, so
I ain't never seen an ugly popular girl.
Oh my God. Okay, it's the only reason that you would say that a girl would be ugly is either if she's actually like butt ass ugly, or if she was like really shy but like really pretty. Okay,
because I wouldn't call a girl ugly if she was shy and pretty. I'd call her pretty and shy. I wouldn't call her ugly. What do you do at night?
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
tiny pea brain.
Okay, so No. The way that a girl carries herself is what, decides whether she's pretty or not. Because she could be ugly, and I'm trying to think of an example, but I honestly cannot think of one off the top of my head.
It's like an actress in Hollywood that is not very attractive, but keeps getting roles, and you don't understand how.
The girl from Handmaid's Tale.
Isn't that a chick flick?
No, it's like, I'm not going to explain what it is to you, but the main character from that show is ugly as crap. But
here's a better example. Kathy Bates. You know who Kathy Bates is?
I have no idea who that is.
I believe you remember Misery, the movie where the guy gets hobbled. He's an author and he gets captured. He wrecks his car and then gets
I've watched
kidnapped.
the movie, but I don't remember the characters.
Okay. Well, anyway, I think she was in a Alfred Hitchcock film or something. But in Hollywood, it's not so much about your looks, but how you carry yourself to be an actress. Like I've made this observation lately that there ain't no big booty women in movies and TV shows. Never. And Law & Order SVU, never.
Kim Kardashian has her own reality TV show.
That's a reality. That's a different breed. I'm talking about like
Honey Boo Boo has her.
Yeah, her mom is just beautiful. I mean, like Psych, Law & Order SVU, Law & Order. There ain't ever any movies with like real thick women. Like it just doesn't happen because that's not what Hollywood deems attractive. That's a topic for another time. I really think we should cover that because that's been bothering me lately. But to circle back to what we were talking about, what makes girls popular in high school, I mean, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head with the self-confidence because it's rare that you find a girl who's not self-confident who's popular. Now, whether it's the popularity that leads to the self-confidence that leads to popularity, I don't know. But I think there's a balance somewhere in there.
Okay. We're gonna drop that because I think that we need to cover that when we have more people.
Okay.
But let's see. We can talk about.
But hold on, I got the next topic because you already forgot about it, even though we just talked about it.
What pisses you off?
Yeah. So what's something that's just been making you angry lately, and you don't have anybody that cares enough to listen to hear you talk about it, but you're going to use this to talk about.
Okay, so. I'm not as pissed as I was because I just bought a new MacBook. Well, I had to buy a new MacBook. But
yes, God forbid you have to buy a new MacBook.
Okay, no. The Apple ecosystem, okay? It is so nice.
It's got like seeds and a stem and
I'm talking about iPad, fucking
my bad.
iPhone, MacBook, all the stuff. So nice to have, right? It works so flawlessly together. But as soon as you fucking mismatch, like before I got this, I had a 2015 MacBook and I'm like, oh my God, iOS 13 or OS 13 or whatever it was called. It comes out with Sidecar. I so want to use Sidecar. I use Illustrator so much that I want to use Sidecar. So I get an iPad. Guess what? It doesn't work with older MacBooks. Fucking Jesus Christ, that just pissed me off. And then when I take a video with my iPhone, guess what? I can't put it on my PC over here, my fucking nice PC that I don't even use anymore, because I want to edit the podcast on there. Can't do it because it's a .mo file and it's unsupported. It's nice until you start mix matching, and then it just all goes to shit. Yeah.
It's all about money. I mean, they just want you to keep buying their stuff, and you're one of the idiots that do it. So you haven't switched to Android like me.
I did have Android, broke my phone. I'm like, that iPhone looks pretty nice. I broke mine
too. You just keep using it, all right?
Okay.
It doesn't matter if my screen's cracked and I can't read sometimes. You just keep trucking.
What pisses you off, Brandon?
Yeah, I have two things. One, my fridge doesn't work right. The fridge door, the latch on top of it has broken. Therefore, if I need more than one hand to get in my refrigerator, guess what I have to do?
What?
I have to pick the refrigerator door up and move it and set it somewhere else to get into my refrigerator.
So So it's completely broke off the hinges? Is that what you're saying?
No, it just sits in at the bottom and the latch on top broke. So it'll close. Like I can hold it there as I'm using it with one hand and hope I don't drop a refrigerator door on my face. Yeah, I can do that. But if I need two hands, I either have to yell for somebody else to come hold my refrigerator door open, or I have to pick it up and move it. I should not have to be doing that. Granted, I didn't pay the guy the rest of the money for it, but I don't care because he didn't tell me the latch was broken. It frustrates me every day of my life. Nobody should have to deal with this. If I didn't need food, I'd get rid of it. And my other thing is, when people complain about not having money,
stop touching the desk. You're making
touch what I want. Stop it. When people complain about not having money or not having a car or, complain about their iPhone that their mommy bought them and they don't have a job, how can you complain about your phone not working when you're not paying for it? How can you complain about not being able to find a ride to the doctor when you can't pay anybody gas money to take you? How can you complain about not being able to go out to eat when you're not working to have money? How can you complain about not getting food stamps when you're not going to work and paying taxes? There's people that can't work, and that's perfectly fine. If you really can't work, you deserve, the food stamps and health insurance. And that. If you're disabled, that's completely different. When there ain't nothing wrong with you and you're 19 years old and you're not in school, what are you doing with your life?
Sounds like you're talking about somebody in particular.
I didn't think about that, but I kind of am. No, he told us he could get overtime there. Yeah, he really is working overtime. 20 hours. Anyway. Sorry, Jacob. You don't listen to this. If we should just wait till the last 20 minutes and then just make fun of Jacob. Because, if you wait this long, you deserve to hear stories about Jacob. Anyway, you know what? Jacob makes me angry. Because he believes whatever the internet tells him. And then will argue with you about it. Whether he's right or wrong, he doesn't care. I don't think that matters to him. I think the fact that you're wrong matters to him. Don't matter.
Or he thinks you're wrong. I can't recall a time that, I was talking to him and he says that I'm wrong and
you're actually wrong.
Yeah, and I'm actually wrong. Because we'll argue about something for a while and then he'll look it up and he'll be like,
he'll try to still find a way to be right.
No, you never hear anything about it again. He's just done talking for once.
If anybody's listened to the last episode me and Brian did, where I tell the story about the ghost adventure to the cemetery, and Jacob was there. Jacob told us that he wasn't afraid at all, and he just got tired of it and was bored and wanted to leave.
But at first he said, that wasn't me. I didn't go with you guys. That was not me. I didn't do it.
Yeah, first he claimed he'd never been there. So we called his stepbrother Trey, who was also there, and said, and I quote, "Wasn't Jacob the one that wanted to leave because he was scared?" Needless to say, Jacob shut up for a little bit and didn't talk to us and got really angry, and I think he might have cried. Not sure. I just think. So, it's just those type of people that make me angry. Or, all right, you've held many jobs, you bum. Right?
Held. I've had.
Either way, Brian, it works.
Okay.
How many jobs have you had?
I don't know, like 10, maybe.
10?
I
thought you had like 4.
I'm not gonna count them.
No, I want you to sit here and count. 10 jobs is a lot for somebody who's 20 years old.
Okay, well, I worked at Monroe's, but I really didn't do anything.
You don't have to say where they were. Just say.
Well,
what
does
they
it matter whether I say it or not?
It's up to you. I don't care what you say.
Okay, so I worked at Monroe's, and I didn't do anything. So I was never trained.
Nobody listening to this knows what Monroe's is. You worked at a restaurant.
I worked at a restaurant, and they never told me anything to do, nor did they train me to do anything, and I just kind of stood around for a while.
Because waiting tables was so hard.
No, it's not. That's not. It was a bar back, and then they never said what I was even supposed to do.
It's called washing dishes.
They had a dishwasher.
Then what were you there for?
I have no idea. Okay, but I just sat there, and I got paid for it.
So did Jacob.
After there, I went to Walmart, I think, and then worked there for a little bit. Then I went to a call center. I shit my pants at the call center.
And then quit.
And then I quit.
In the same day.
In the same day, yeah. After the call center, I feel like there was something else that I did there. Like, I went somewhere else, and then I went to Mon Health, and I worked there for a while. And as I was working there, do you count like whether I started a business or not?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay, well, I started a nail polish business, and then I started a
resale business, didn't you?
Well, I still do that.
Oh.
Whatever you call like pop culture home good, like Fallout stuff. I was selling that stuff online. And then throughout all this though, I was doing like freelance stuff.
All right.
I don't know if that even counts.
I wouldn't say that counts because you're doing like a project by project basis.
Like taking pictures for people and doing stuff like that is what I'm talking about. And then now I work at the Dominion Post.
So you have 8 jobs plus your freelance stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if freelance stuff counts.
I wouldn't really count it. I wouldn't really count it because there's not a whole lot of work going into it. But, okay. What's the closest you ever came to hitting somebody at one of your jobs?
I think the only job that I actually didn't... Like, I think my favorite job was Walmart, if we're being honest. And I was working in the electronics section because everybody thinks you're... Or no, actually, I take that back. It was definitely the hospital because I did IT at the hospital. And people would call down and be like, computer's not working. I'd be like, all right, I'll be up in a sec. I'd go up there, like, 4 hours later or something. And I'd go up there and they'd be like, oh, you're here. And I'm like, yeah, it took me a while to get here. And then they'd be like, hey, can you fix this? I'd be like, yeah, I'll fix it. And then I'll do a couple things and then it'll be fixed. And then it'll be like, fucking bowing to me like I'm a god. That was my favorite.
How does that
job.
answer my question?
Oh no, that's what I was thinking about.
Well, didn't you used to always tell them you to be right up and then just don't go? Or they
a lot
call
of
you?
Yeah, a lot of the times they'd call down and they'd say what the problem is. And I'm like, that's like I'd hang up the phone and be like, that's not what the problem is.
No,
and then if they wouldn't explain to me what the problem was, I wouldn't go up.
No, like the thing you told me was like it was somebody else's job to deal with, and they'd call you about it, and you're like, "Yeah, I'll take care of it." Then you wouldn't do it. Like so, the printers or something. I don't think the printers were you.
It was like during day shift or whatever. There's other people there, and you just like answer the phone, and then okay, this is the problem. Type it up. Be like, who should deal with this? And then you like drag it into their folder for them to deal with it. But then when you got afternoon and day shift or afternoon and night shift,
that's when you actually dealt with the problem.
Yeah.
That's not you must not remember what you were telling me. I think this was right before you got fired.
I didn't get fired. I quit.
You got displaced.
I quit.
You weren't going to have a job any longer, so you quit.
I quit.
Okay, you quit. Anyway, back to the original question. What's the closest you ever came to punching somebody? Either a coworker or a customer?
It's fucking drunk people in Walmart. That's what I was going to say.
No, I know who you came closest to hitting when you worked there.
Yeah, it was fucking Gay Rick.
You shouldn't have used his name.
What, you think that was his name given to him at birth? Fuck. They're like, man, this kid sure looks like a fuck.
Bro, you're going to edit that part out. Well, no, because he kept trying to get you to go to his rape cabin and sexually accosting you while you were at work. No, the managers wouldn't do anything about it.
I actually went to the managers and I'm like, this is like, I'm very uncomfortable. Will you please do something about it? And they wouldn't do anything about it. And then he ended up standing behind me like fucking like balls to the back of my leg. You know what I mean? And
he wore shorts all the time too.
Yeah, well, either way, like balls to the back of my leg, and then I'm like, listen, dude, you need to back the fuck up. And then he started messing with like Steven or something. I don't remember, but after that he quit messing with me, and then he started messing with
somebody else.
Yeah, as long as it wasn't me, I didn't give a fuck.
No, I remember because you went to them and said, look, you know, somebody needs to deal with this. And they said, well, part of your job is dealing with people like that. And you said, my way of dealing with it is punching them in the nose. So, mine is when I was running register. And this lady, like, you all know the type of person I'm talking about. She had her kid in the cart.
Karen?
Yeah, pretty much. And he was, like, helping. I think he was, like, 5 maybe. And he said, and, like, I'm sitting there, you know, I'm, like, 16 or 17. And he said something. He's like, you know, maybe I'll work at Walmart one day. And she said, no, honey, you're too good to ever work here. And I just stopped the belt and I just looked at her. I punched her in the nose. I was like, oh, lady, come up here and say it because I'm going to punch you in the throat. You'll be lucky your kid's going to have a job with you as the mother. And this close to punching a woman. And then an old guy threatened to move because I wouldn't price match his French fries. He told us he was going to have to move again because the last Walmart he lived near did this to him. And that's why he moved the first time. If you get so angry at your local Walmart that you threaten to move because they won't price match your French fries for 10 cents less, you have problems.
How much French fries is he buying that makes that worth it?
1 bag! They were like $1.48 to begin with. Like, what are you so angry about, dude? And then I had... let me think. I mean, there's a couple coworkers I about popped in the nose a couple times. I came real close.
While you think about that, I'll talk about. I remember, you know, those welfare people come in. They got like 3 carts.
Don't use that term, but I know what you mean.
Why can't I use that term?
Because there's
everybody knows what I'm talking about.
There's people on welfare who deserve it.
Okay, well, we're talking about people on welfare that are
people who abuse the
fine.
system. People who abuse the system.
There's a lot of them around here.
There is.
Anyway, so, you know, it'd be like the 3rd of the month or whatever, whenever they get it, and
it's the 1st of the month, but okay.
Every time that I've noticed, it's been the 3rd of the month.
Because they didn't let you work on the 1st because you were too slow.
Okay, well, they'd clear out the entire Walmart.
That's because you only got 2 days a week. 3
like carts full of food, and you know, it was one of those people. Okay, they come up, and I was about to check them out, and they said they wanted to price match, and they had 3 fucking carts full of stuff. Okay, so I get done doing all this. She got like 15 fucking, or no, it was probably like $500 or something worth of price match, right? Uh-huh. And that's going to be an exaggeration, obviously. It's like probably
$12.
Like
it just really made you angry.
It was like every single thing, right? Yeah. So let's just say it was like $300 mm-hmm. That they saved, and their bill ended up being like $1,000 or something. Okay? Yeah. Well, when you do that much stuff at Walmart,
somebody has to approve it.
Somebody has to come over and approve it. So I remember working there, and manager comes over to approve it, and she's like, "We don't price match anymore." I'm like, "Are you blowing my balls right now?" I swear to God.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Keep going, but I gotta use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm. We're about done. Come on.
I can't hold it. I tried. Just finish up.
All right. Finish your story. Well, that was the end of my story. So, anyway, appreciate you guys watching. We needed to, you know, end this episode out anyway because we're about out on time on the camera. So, we will see you guys in the next one. We do have a couple more guests that we will be having. So, just stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe, because it seems like you guys are just commenting and not subscribing. And I don't know if that's because you don't like the podcast, but just make sure that you subscribe, okay? It means a lot if you subscribe. Makes these worth doing, you know? You want us to get together more, you need to just like hit that fucking subscribe button. So,
hold on. I have one more story before we go. I thought about this.
We're almost out of time.
We got 4 minutes. Took me 2 minutes. There was this man, I've never seen him before, but I was stocking chips. And I had a shopping cart with my cardboard in it, right? I had like 3 things of cardboard I just started. And from 3 hours down, I hear a man yelling in the voice of Macho Man Randy Savage. "Oh yeah, 7 to a Slim Jim, brother!" And just screaming it at customers. And I said, what the hell? And this man comes around the corner, looks at me, says, 7 to a Slim Jim, brother! Oh yeah! Takes my cardboard out of my cart and then takes my cart with him and goes shopping. So, you imagine me trying to explain to my manager that Randy Savage screamed at me and then stole my cardboard cart. Yeah, that was a heck of a day.
Is there a lot of cardboard in the cart?
No, I only had 3 pieces and he set it on the floor. Anyway, yeah, we're good to go now. I wanted to get that out before I forgot.
Alrighty, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. Really, it means a lot when you guys subscribe, and really makes these worth doing. Okay, subscribe.
If I have to keep making accounts to get likes, I'm gonna get upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna get real upset. All right, don't comment and then not subscribe. It doesn't make sense. You know what? You're probably right. All right, appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
And women. Racist.
Sorry.